Oh god. Oh my god, of course you put it on there. You recorded.
Okay, it is Saturday morning. Josh and I, we went to go pick up my wheels that I just got mounted. Thanks again to Pedro for hooking me up with the tire mounting. But Josh, we said in the last video that we were gonna work on your car.
Yeah, I feel like I woke up late this morning.
You don't want to?
No.
All right, well, you know what that means. I'm gonna make you work on the BRC.
I'm going with that. I'm going with that.
Nacho, are you gonna help us? Or are you just gonna be stupid? I think he's just gonna be stupid. But of course, where is Drift Dad to help us? Let's go get him. Nacho, go find Drift Dad. No, don't eat my antler. Silly dog. What are you doing?
What do you mean, what am I doing?
You playing Fallout again? When we should be working on your car?
Working on my car?
Yeah.
Well, I thought you said you'd have it done by today. I wanted to go drifting.
Oh, well.
You promised it'd be done today and I could drift.
Well, about
what
that.
am I resorting to? Wasting all this time on this stupid game.
All right, well, you ready to work on your car?
I've been ready.
Oh, you sure do look ready. Actually, you look ready to go to war, not work on a car.
I am at war right here.
I guess. So, because we still need to knock out the timing chain cover to repair that leak, I need the engine to be still so I can take off this crank pulley. And to do that, yes, we have the transmission in. I could technically put it into gear, but the drive shaft needs to go back in. So Josh and I are gonna tackle that real quick.
We using my rag as a rag?
I didn't put that there. But what are you doing coming out here and instead of helping on the car?
I ain't smoking.
What are you doing?
Cigarettes you smoking.
The cigarettes smoking? Mm-hmm. Not you?
Yeah.
What a bad influence, huh?
Don't put this on camera. People will see that and say, hey, your Drift Dad's an idiot.
Well, maybe he is.
Stupid is as stupid does.
So, Sergeant Drift Dad has removed, what did you take off on the BRZ?
I don't know, some part. Some random part.
Well, let me see that part, because I think this...
So this is what's going to go over here, and it's going to go...
That's the oil feed line for the turbo that taps into, well, I guess it doesn't tap, but it goes into the existing, here. I think that's oil temperature sensor port on the front of the engine.
Pressure sensor on the top?
Yeah, well, I think they're temperature and pressure. So yeah, we'll need to remove that. But I guess for the purposes of, you know, this mission...
Well, I want to put it on the way I take it off.
Right.
Otherwise, I'll never remember how it went on.
I don't know, do we need to look up some intel on the computer to figure out how we're going to accomplish this mission? Because I have my computer over here. I can call in a Predator strike. Or what is it, a Predator drone? That's from Call of Duty, right, Josh?
Yeah.
AC-130 inbound. I don't know, but I think... you're gonna deserve a Medal of Honor for this job here. I went ahead and reinstalled the shifter assembly. Quick rundown how it works, and it's really interesting actually. Because the FRS BRZs have a reverse lockout for the transmission, you can see just how it works. So first gear is all the way to the left and up. But because of this little lockout plate right here, if you put it in neutral, lift up, slide it all the way to the left, and then up, you can see that this little plate pivots, I guess, this rod that goes into the transmission itself in such a way that it will throw it in reverse. You know, it's such a simple design, I wouldn't even thought of something like that, but it's pretty cool. But I had to do this because in order to take the crank pulley off, we need to put the transmission in 6th gear to keep it from rotating. All right, Mr. Filipino needs to head to work. Yeah. I don't know if I'll see you again today, maybe not.
Maybe tomorrow. We'll see each other tomorrow or something.
Sergeant Drift Dad's sad that you're leaving. Okay, so maybe tomorrow then?
Yeah, maybe tomorrow.
All right, sounds good. Thanks again for helping out. Josh drives that Solstice over there. What I need you guys to do is I'm gonna put his Instagram right on the screen right here. Go to it and basically beg him that he needs to at least try to take that thing out for a couple donuts or something. So make sure to go to his Instagram and comment that, please. All right, so I've gone ahead and reassembled the interior of the car, and we just used the impact to take off the pulley. Uh-oh, that wasn't supposed to come off.
This wasn't supposed to come off?
No.
Just looking because there's a key right there.
Yeah, we have to make sure that that key sits perfectly on the inside when it...
So this whole thing's not supposed to come off?
This bearing here, whatever it is, isn't supposed to come out.
Ooh.
I think it'll be okay. No worries. Trust me.
We're screwed.
We had to close the garage. It's a freezing 50-something degrees outside, and we were getting a little too cold.
You're a wuss. Well, I was warm.
But Sergeant Drift Dad has done a pretty good amount of work here. One thing that we did run into an issue with was taking the water pump pulley off. Everything online recommends that while you still have the belt on, to loosen up these 3 screws that hold the pulley on. But since we had already removed everything else, what we had to do is get the belt itself, wrap it around the pulley, wrap it back around this little idler pulley here, and then we had to put all of our weight onto the belt itself to then break these bolts loose. Now all we got to do is just take off the cover, 32 12mm bolts.
All right, well, we got all 32 of the bolts out. And now we're just trying to pop that timing chain cover off without doing any damage to the engine. Recommendation was to wrap a screwdriver with PTFE tape. That's exactly what we did, so we'll see how that works. Okay, we got it. Look at that. Oh, let me get this up. There you go. Amazing. You got space over here to mess with it and clean it? Yeah, if we didn't have all those tires. All right, so that's it.
Just got to start cleaning off the edges here and then reseal it. So I have done my best. Still probably doesn't mean it's that good, but I tried to remove as much of the old gasket off of the engine as possible, because I sure as heck don't want to have to deal with this thing leaking ever again. So we're gonna do it once and do it right. Definitely a pain in the butt process. Now I did read online that underneath these sensors there's an O-ring that can go bad over time and then cause it to leak, but that doesn't look like the case here. Look at how dirty this thing is. The greaser should do the trick though. Okay, well with all of the surfaces clean, we're trying to squeeze out this silicone onto the timing cover itself, but for some reason the silicone that I got, even though it's the right stuff, does not come out evenly enough.
Too big? I mean, I don't like the way it's going.
I don't want it to leak again. So I'm thinking that maybe AutoZone will have some type of silicone that we can use. I mean, I don't know why our silicone isn't working. It should, but it sucks because tomorrow is Adam LZ's open house and I'm supposed to be going, which means that we won't really be working on this thing. And then come the beginning of the week, Drift Dad is going on a business trip from Monday through Thursday. So I'm not gonna be able to have his help.
I come back Friday.
Friday?
Friday.
Oh man, that means I'm gonna be working on it by myself. Gotta do what you gotta do, I guess. So, Sergeant Drift Dad, mission failed.
Sorry.
What a failure. First, I can't get the transmission in by myself. Now, I guess between the two of us, we can't even get a valve cover back on.
The valve cover?
No, timing cover. I keep getting them mixed up. So, like I said, since I'm doing daily videos, we don't necessarily have to get stuff done in the same video.
Well, it's not like, if we don't get it done, it's not like that big a deal. We still got stuff to drive.
Yeah, exactly. But I do want to say thank you guys for watching. You'll have to tune in next time for where we knock the rest of this stuff out. I'm really thinking that as soon as this timing chain cover's back on, I'll be able to have the car up and running within that same day probably.
Right. You guys, take some bets on that one, all right?
Okay, well, I hope you guys have an awesome day, and we'll see you next time. Peace.